Welcome to the Authentic Human Podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Vickers. Similar to how military and special ops use remote viewing to access secret information, I communicate directly with universal beings to better understand creation, existence, and evolution. For the past 20 years, I've worked with thousands of people around the world, helping them gain access to the highest level information possible so they can achieve their ultimate goals. Right now, I've partnered with the Creator and some of the most influential beings in existence to bring you the story of creation. My goal is to create a world where you remember who you are and why you exist. Welcome back to the Authentic Human Podcast. And today is part 12 of the story of creation. And today, it feels like so we're working with, it's hard for me to remember if we've talked about them in the story of creation, different beings, because there's a lot of different beings that we work with and communicate with in my private community. So, but today we're actually working with Pan, and Pan is Gaia, so Mother Earth is the embodiment of the physical planet that we live on and we call home. And Pan is her counterpart, if you will. And his mission is to the way he's showing me, it's like free creation into being. And what he means is, it's fertility, but fertility is really, it's that shift, right? Because creation is based on intention, becomes energy, becomes experience. And in order for it to become experience, it has to shift vibration so it can become it's not necessarily physical, because a lot of experiences are simply energetic. So, but it goes through a process where the vibration shifts. It's really cool because he's showing me, it's like a lot of the time that ringing in the ears, he's showing me that high-pitched ringing in the ears. And that is often what will happen when energy is moving from becoming intention to becoming experience. So as it moves through that process, the pitch changes, right? So vibration, energy is vibration. And again, vibration is just how something moves, okay? And so how it moves has to change, right? Because intention is one vibration, then it's the energetic building of that intention, if you will, it becomes a different vibration, right? It's like a bathtub. You're going to have a bath. That's your intention. And then you put water in the tub. So the energy is building, but it's shifting because the actual experience is being created. And then the experience is you have the bath. Okay. And so what he's saying is, yes, so that ringing in the ears is actually a manifestation of energy coming into fruition in that process of creation, really. And so what he wants to explain today, and why this aspect of existence and focus is so important at this stage in the awareness of the creation story, is because you're beginning to see yourself from the universal perspective. And the universal perspective is it's vastly different than the human perspective and how we've been taught. And what that really means is there is very, very little truth to the physical representation of existence in relation to the universal perspective. And that's really hard to deal with. It's really hard to accept for most people that we don't know anything about who we are, right? Because we walk around thinking we know who we are. The problem is that knowing is often based on trivial things like how you like your coffee and how your partner likes their coffee, in the morning. And we know that, so we know them and we can make them happy by making their coffee the way they want. This isn't about that. This is understanding that your recognition of who you are is off. It's off. And until it is on, you cannot fulfill the mission you came here to fulfill, because you're working within, it's kind of funny the way they're showing me. It's like, if you imagine the whole world, okay, is meant to be your playground. You literally have no limits on how you're meant to experience life, and the tools you're meant to use, the places you can go to access and absorb all those tools. And yet, how we're taught to exist is like a boxing ring. It's extremely small. And there are rules on how you can be in the ring, right? Like even your weight, like how you show up is a rule. What you can wear is a rule. How you can use your body, how the other person is able to use your body, how you're able to interact or not. Everything is a rule, and you must remain within this. And so that's the difference between trying to understand existence from the physical realm versus the universal perspective. Okay? It's literally from existence itself compared to a boxing ring. And the other reason that he's sharing a boxing ring and why it's so relevant is because we are under constant threat. We are under a constant need to provide protection for ourselves in order to sustain some semblance of decorum, if you will. That's the exact words that they're using. And what that means is it's all an illusion. Everything you've been taught is an illusion. And I know that people say those words all the time, but we still participate in them because we don't really understand what that means. When you say something or someone else says something and you're like, oh, this can't be real. This isn't real. I know it's not real. But then what am I going to do about it? How am I going to be a completely different person? So we just continue in the illusion. And here's the truth is the way he's showing me, there's no such thing as being a little bit outside. Like either you're in the illusion or you're not. You can't pretend to not be in the illusion, but still use it 5%. Because if you're using it in your mind 5%, you're still all in. And that's the part that's the hardest for humans to accept. And this is where the lesson, the message, the wisdom that's coming today, and why this is so important is that humanity is struggling because we've lost our sense of self. And that sense of self is based on the wholeness of who we are, the fullness. And if you believe that your energy, your experience it's not so bad. I can see this and I can see this, but with this person, I have to do it this way, or with this work, I have to do it this way. What they're saying is that dynamic is done now. And the next few months are going to be a reflection of that. But the most important thing to remember, and the reason that that we're sharing this now at this time in the story of creation is because in order for you to fully reclaim the truth of who you are, to restore your awareness and your beingness in this physical realm, you have to allow yourself to fully and completely break up with the person that you were. And that's emotionally terrifying because, and he's saying it's because you don't know how you feel. Again, it comes back to not really understanding who you are, not really understanding how you feel. And so he keeps showing me how we talked in part 11 of the vastness of the universe, and that the edges are no less powerful than the center. There's no differentiate. Can't even try it. I'm not even going to try to use that word again. There's no differentiating. Okay, I did between them. And the point is, that's what he's saying today. You're either in or you're out. You can't be both. This is why it's so exhausting. You're either in or you're out. And what that means is you're either in the boxing ring, playing the game and following the rules that they set for you. And it's really important to understand they set it, but you continue to set them every day when you wake up and say, oh, I have to do this. This is what we have to do. This is what we have to do. Now, he's very clear. This is not about you, going out today and just saying, I'm done with all of it. What he's saying is, now we can walk. Now we can go to the next level and share the next bit of insight. But you wouldn't understand it without sharing that little bit first. So he keeps walking in the sand in proximity to the pyramids. And these ones, some are in Egypt. I want to say he's showing me Turkey. I don't know personally. I have zero awareness of geography and history and all of those aspects. Okay, but they're showing me that the most important ruins, and I'm using the word ruins in a way that there's a sacredness in the word ruins, because it's not ruined. It's a reflection of what stood there. And what he's showing is we stand there and we still stand there. And we're not broken. Humanity is not broken. Those ruins, the energy isn't broken. Even if the shape has shifted and changed as a result of age, for a lack of a better term, because it's not really quite the right word, but there isn't a proper. Energetically, it's more about recognition that this stage in existence, this stage in evolution it's a compilation of intentions. And the overall intention of the creator, so he's here and he's saying that the overall intention for success for humanity and the reawakening, if you will, that's the intention, right? Is that humans will resurrect themselves and it's like pull yourselves back up to this place of sovereignty, to this place of self-recognition, so that humanity can thrive once again, but existence and evolution can thrive, because evolution has been stalled for well over 50,000 years, because humanity are the key to evolution. We spark evolution. We participate, right? Intention becomes energy, becomes experience. And so for those experiences to unfold, intentions have to be set. And you're the ones who I've created to participate in evolution. It's not my job as the creator. It's not my job to participate in evolution. My job is to watch it unfold. This is really important for you to know and understand, because most people are waiting for other people to make choices and tell them what to do. That's the dynamic that religion has created. And it's what has caused so much fear in the lives, in the world, in the views of humans who believe they're not worthy enough to participate. So they are frozen. They can't make choices. They can't make decisions because of the fear of judgment. But there is no judgment. It doesn't exist energetically. From that universal perspective, there is no such thing. But if you stay inside that boxing ring, that's where judgment thrives. But it doesn't exist outside. And so we're at the stage now where it's time to be sure-footed again, to walk. He's showing me walking barefoot in the sand. And barefoot is representative of, you don't need to protect yourself. You don't need all the layers of beliefs. You have to wear shoes because the sun and the hot sand is going to burn your feet, or you're going to be cold, or it's going to be uncomfortable, or you're going to pull the muscles in your feet. All of those things are lies. And they've been told to us, but it's representative of how we walk through our lives at this stage. So he wants to share what human existence looked like and what it felt like when we just were. We were in connection with the universe, with ourselves, with the planet, and with the beings of existence that were created, that allowed for opportunities to manifest, to become part of our experiences, because that's evolution. And so the pyramids, their creation of these pyramids it was the foundation of a different level of interaction in the physical realm. And again, the core, the ones that were in the core, that are still in the core of the earth, but that were created there, were created to broadcast the universal energy within the physical infrastructure. We'll use that word. But as humanity started to, as our awareness started to dwindle, it's interesting because, and like right away, I'm feeling apprehension. I'm feeling, he's showing me, we would start to walk and we would have apprehension as we walk, right? And walk is just a euphemism for being in your life, in your existence. And so he's showing me that as that anxiety, discomfort grew. So what he means by that, and he's showing me, it's like black snakes coming out of the ground. It's like as the lies were told and they came up and they took hold of your belief systems. And this is really important to understand, really important. This is how humanity went from feeling everything and feeling energy to thinking and to leading with fear. Because as we the dynamic shifted when the lies took hold. And this is important as well, because lies can be told. You can tell lies, but they don't impact unless someone believes them. Your lies mean nothing unless someone believes them. Then it's not that the lie is powerful, it's that you've given your power to the lie and you've become powerless. This is where the power shift is. This is where it comes from. But they've created this illusion that they are powerful and we are powerless. But it is not true. You can't give your power away and not have any anymore. This illusion is what has perpetuated the fear of humanity for the last 50, 60, 70,000 years. And it's all based on lies. And what he wants you to feel, so Jesus is here as well. Now, this is really important as well, okay? So you have to let go of what your beliefs are about Jesus. Remember that he is the universal being that embodies compassion in this universe, okay? And he's walking with us before the manipulation. So what he's showing you is the purity of your expression. And purity, again, in our current world, purity means good versus bad or evil, right? That's not what purity is. Purity is you without any mental stuff in the way. Just imagine your experience, just for a minute before we go in and feel it. Just imagine what your life would be like if fear didn't exist in your universe, in your realm, in your world. It wasn't in any of your relationships. It wasn't in any of your experiences. Who would you be? You'd be you. And that's what he wants you to feel. So he's just bringing in this energy. It's almost like it's like a very mild, if you will, tornado in the middle of the desert. So it's sand that's moving around. And it's the walking. It's beautiful because he's walking just through the sand, you know. And here's the thing is there's some pyramids are close, some are very far, you know, a couple 100 kilometers. And yet he can see them from that space. Because again, we don't rely solely on our physical attributes. We can see because energetically we know exactly where they are and where we need to go. Right? He's showing me, when was the last time you went somewhere new and trusted your instincts on exactly how to get there that you wouldn't get lost? Following your inner compass. We don't live like that anymore. And he just wants you to feel that storm moving around you, the sand moving, because inside, as you walk, inside that, it's sand, but it's very soft. It's not coarse. It's not rough. It's light. It's almost fluffy, if you will, and yet it's dense. It's energy and it's around you, but it's dense. And as it moves, as the sand moves, and as it shifts around you, he wants you to begin to feel your connection to the earth. So when your feet are in connection with the sand, noticing the energy and the vibration that goes down from your feet and into the earth. And also feeling the energy that comes through the earth and connects with you and flows with and through you. But notice what happens to the energetic field that surrounds the edge of your body when the energy from the earth comes into you. Notice how the energy, it's almost like it ignites, it lights up. And he says sometimes when it's too much, it becomes a spark. And the spark signifies an imbalance. But it's also recognizing that when there's discomfort in the body, when there's pain, when there is, if they're showing me like knee tenderness or discomfort, as an example, then what will happen is when you're walking, instead of allowing the energy to flow through, it's like it bounces, it gets to the knees. And when we're in pain, we resist anything coming in, right? So this is back to that protection energy that he was talking about earlier. And so what happens is we deflect the energy back out. And this is extremely important to understand because we are created to be in connection with the planet and all of the energy that is not only the physical planet, but around the earth that binds us into the flow of connection, interaction with every, universal being, universal perspective, physical representation that exists here. But when we're in a state of fear, we reject anything that feels like home. And home is the place where your soul was created, the place where your soul exists, and the place where you feel your deep connection to your own existence. And he says that's what this fear propaganda has created. The fact is, your body is meant to be in full connection with both the physical representation as well as the soul and the universal representations of who you are. You cannot have one without the other. And allow for a balanced existence. But physical representation does not mean the beliefs inside of that boxing ring. Physical representation is a full recognition of who you are as a soul, what you came here to do, and allowing yourself to explore your potential. Humanity has stopped trying to evolve. But the more challenging aspect of existence currently is that we've stopped trying to participate. We've either surrendered or we're acting like we've surrendered to defeat. And defeat is embracing the fear and using pity to guide you. And in order for humanity to step back on the path of truth and participate in the resurrection of humanity, the resurrection is self-recognition coming to fruition. Resurrection is you remembering the truth of who you are, free of any mental limitations, period. And humanity is about to be dipped, immersed, if you will, in that for the next 3 to 5 months. It's going to be intense. It is going to be uncomfortable. As long as you continue to hold beliefs that aren't true. Everything for you will flow if you allow yourself to embrace the truth of who you are. If something isn't flowing, it is 100% because you've held onto a belief that is limited, limiting, or holds that dynamic that humanity is broken. You are not broken. Feel the energy. Go back and feel that tornado now. It's completely stopped. Feel the vibration of the universe. There's an immense calm and a stillness. And it's so peaceful. But more than that, it holds the possibility of fulfillment. And all you have to do is choose to participate in it. If you find yourself demanding attention, if you find yourself uncomfortable because someone's demanding it of you, change your experience. Allow yourself to step out of the ring and participate in life on universal terms, which is you. Playing and participating in exploring your own potential. And this energy that they're bringing, Pan and the Creator, Jesus, your soul. That's the other important thing is as you're listening, as you're participating in this journey, your soul is helping you understand when things feel off. And they're going to make it even more uncomfortable. And you have to stop feeling sorry for yourself that it's uncomfortable and start creating the changes that are meant to be created. That's why it's uncomfortable, because your life isn't meant to be that way. And it's allowing for that change. There's a lot of energy. My breathing is very dense, which typically happens when they come right inside. So it started right away today. It's just, it's lovely and intense. And so today is about feeling the awareness inside of the soles of your feet as you're in connection with the land. The land is your physical home, as akin to the universe is your soul's home. And when you walk without paying attention to where you're walking, when you walk without intention and without attention to the details, when you allow shoes barriers to be between you and the world. Even walking on concrete, concrete isn't supposed to be there. It's not natural. It's not naturally occurring. It's been created. Just like asphalt and plastic and rubber. And right now, it's coming back to that place of raw energy, raw potential, and raw power. And what we're doing right now is we're building your comfort with you accessing that raw power. Because it's in that relationship that you're going to be able to access the truth of who you are, but also wield power and energy in a way that facilitates your own magnificence rather than fear and pity. So as you hold this space today, it's creating an intention that allows you to forget the fear so you can create space and create the opportunity for you to feel more truth and more of your potential, right? That's your power. It's who you are. And you allow that to come through. So remember, those intentions become energy, become your experience. But you have to follow them through. You can't just have a thought. That's not an intention. An intention is inspiration from energy, but then you feed that energy. You allow it to become what it's meant to, free of your mind. And as it grows, and as the intention grows in energy, right? This is what he's sharing. It becomes your experience. And this is why everything you don't like, it's recognition that you've created it. You have held that intention so long that it's come right into your space. That's how powerful you are. That is how incredible you are. So now you just have to wield your energy, wield your power in a way that facilitates your greatness coming back to the surface and coming into you. Because for so long, humanity has rejected your power. You've rejected it. So you have been in fear and in pain, and you've been uncomfortable. And so your natural go-to is to deflect power, to deflect energy, and to resist it, right? So the example of the knees and the soreness, and the energy doesn't even get past your knees. It comes close to them, and you're just like, nope, you shut it down, but you push it back into the earth. And this is important to understand because that's your intention. I'm blocking energy from coming in. You're actually participating in creating that experience. And you've held it for so long, all of these beliefs that you're broken, you need to be healed, you need to be fixed, someone needs to come and heal you and fix you, or you need to go see someone. When you allow the energy of your soul and the universe to reach you again, to reach your cells all the time. This is, again, you can't just do it once a day for 2 minutes. It's 24 hours in a day. Your body is in experience 24 hours in a day. You have to hold that space. And yeah, it takes effort when you first choose this new intention, but it becomes natural. It becomes how it's supposed to. Because right now, your rejection of everything, your need to protect yourself, your need to consistently feel like you're under attack, that was learned. And you've decided to carry it. So what they're saying is, learn something that actually is going to help you restore your true self. We'll leave it there for today. It is so. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in to the Authentic Human Podcast. I'm Michelle Vickers. If you're one of the select few who felt the depth and energy of universal wisdom in this episode, I invite you to join our private community, the Authentic Human Collective, where episodes are recorded live and the conversation and exploration go far beyond what the public is ready to hear. Find all the details at michellevickers.com.